Welcome to this edition of the SAU Report. I'm Angela Bradford.
And I'm Calvin McGee.
Today we're going to interview Andrew Guy, also known as Bolo. Bolo is currently the Public Relations Officer of ISA. Thank you for being with us today, Bolo.
Thank you.
How long have you been here at SAU?
Well, I'll be graduating next spring, so December coming will make it 4 years. I'm originally from Jamaica by way of Canada. Also attended a college in Canada. I have an associate degree in exercise science, so I'm trying to get my bachelor's degree right now, try to go to med school. So far it's been great, you know, being in America and associating with the different people and stuff like that. Yourself and Calvin. Thank you very much for having me today.
Thank you.
So, Bolo, how did you end up at Southern Arkansas University?
I get that question all the time. It's like a regular thing every day. Well, first of all, as I said, I went to school in Canada, and I wanted to get my associate degree. After I get my associate degree, I wanted to get my bachelor's degree to go into med school. So I started looking for schools around the different, countries and stuff like that. I looked at Little Rock. I looked in New York because I have a few friends that go to New York State University. And I started weighing, like, for example, like, the cost, how much it's going to cost me, like. And then I weighed the cost between Little Rock and here in Magnolia. It came up a little bit cheaper, so I said, okay, here I am.
Okay, what's your major here?
My major is biology.
Okay.
As a whole, how do you feel SAU treats international students?
I think it's great. I don't know much about other campuses, but speaking of SAU, I think SAU has been great in welcoming the students. For example, Wayne Garner, who is one of the members of the International Student Services. He comes to pick us up at the airport and stuff like that. So the welcoming is really great. I mean, like, I haven't had a problem, neither of any of my associate or colleagues. We've been treated great.
Okay. So once you got on campus, did you fit in, so to speak, with the rest of the students on campus, or was it hard adjusting?
Well, I wouldn't say it's hard. It wasn't hard, but, it was kind of like a culture shock, First of all, the different slangs are different. Some people would say, like, y'all. Like, it took me a while to get used to that one, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But, after a while, then, other international students come into and you find out that you have something in common with them, so you kind of gel, and that's where ISA, come into being.
Okay.
All right. Andrew, after graduation, what are your plans? Are you planning to stay in the United States and work on your trade, or do you plan to go home?
Well, Calvin, sky's the limit.
Yeah.
I take each day one day at a time. You know what I mean? I live for today and hope for tomorrow. But, hopefully when I graduate, I'm planning to, like, work a little bit for about 6 months while studying for the MCAT and take the MCAT and then apply to med school.
Okay.
I know that currently you're the Public Relations Officer of ISA. What exactly does that title consist of?
Well, I'm just the guy that just talks a lot. That's all. Basically, really, typically. I'm the guy that goes out there and try to get the word out there, get more people involved with ISA, whether it be on campus or off campus or whatever the case might be. Going to the local business and let them know that we're here and, we need your help, to fund, like, certain events. For example, like the banquet that's coming up on Saturday, So I'm the kind of guy that goes out there and do that, get other students involved. So that's what my job is.
So how long have you been the Public Relations Officer?
Well, every year we have, like, new officers. So this year, for 2002, 2003 period, I'm the Public Relations Officer. Next year it might be somebody else. I have to pass the baton.
Okay.
All right. Who is the president of ISA, and what type of person is he, and where is he from?
President is Kombo Sekodan. He's from Kenya, and to be truthful to you, he's a really good friend of mine. He's kind of like my best friend, really. Okay. He's not the kind of guy that's gonna act all president type, you know what I mean? The quote, the name. He's a person, you can go and talk to him. We study together. We play soccer together every weekend. He's a cool guy all around.
Okay. I met him this past semester when my sorority was doing extravaganza. He is a down-to-earth person.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
I know we've been saying ISA a lot. What exactly is ISA?
Well, that's just an abbreviation that means the International Student Association. That's basically it.
What does ISA symbolizes to you?
Well, to me, it symbolizes diversity, basically. And our quote is called, there's always room for diversity, in the sense that we live in a world where there's black, there's white, there's all different, shades of color to different people and from different nations and tongues and nationality. Well, ISA basically is like a melting pot where it brings everybody together from different countries, not just international student, but also American student.
Okay.
All right, Andrew, does ISA involve themselves with any community project?
Well, we're working on that because it's a new thing. For example, like, it's not the same as a fraternity or a sorority. Everything that we do, it's voluntary. The students don't have to pay any kind of fee or anything like that. Everything that they do is voluntary. So this year we're trying to go out into the community. I think in a couple months we're trying to go out to the I think the elderly home and probably do some cleaning or whatever case like that for them. So we haven't approached them yet, but that's what we're doing right now. We're talking about it. So.
Okay. How many people are currently active in the International Student Association?
What do you mean, as members or
As
just
members?
Well, we have over 40 people,
40 people.
over 40 people right now, and it's growing every day.
Okay, that was my next question. Is it growing fast this year?
It's growing fast this year because, like for example, like every semester we have like freshmen coming in, so that's always added more culture, more diversity to our group. This year, as you will see at the show on Saturday, the banquet, you're going to see people from Nepal, you're going to see people from Africa, all over Africa, Bulgaria, and places like that. So it's constantly growing.
Okay.
Andrew, are there any major conflicts considering the fact that there are different languages, religions, etc.?
That's a good question. I'm kind of glad that you asked that. In the sense that a lot of people will ask that, since we all, speak different tongues and stuff, they would think that, my grandmother would say, well, too many rats dig bad hole, you know what I'm saying? But, we don't have any conflicts, The only time that we might get a little, feisty with each other is when we play soccer, what you guys call soccer. For us, it's football, right?
Yeah.
And that's all competition. That's all in competition with fun. When we on the field, we play hard. We might throw an elbow here and there. But as soon as we get off the field, it's all about love and getting back to school. So most of these guys are friends, So you're not going to fight with your friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We might have a little beef here and there on the field. Other than that, we're cool.
Okay.
Could you name any different cultures who tend to get along together to show the diversity and unity at SAU?
Well, as a matter of fact, I'm Jamaican, and I have a lot of Pakistani friends. For example, we're going to be doing a dance. It's like it's a Pakistani dance / Indian type dance that we're going to do this weekend. It was fun learning the dance because I didn't understand what they were saying because they were giving out the instructions, right? And I'm there and I'm like, okay, what is she saying? What is she saying? But it's fun for me, just getting to know the different groups. So.
I'm sure that some of the countries, if they were in their native country, there'd probably be enemies, among themselves. And now they're in the United States and they're all together. Have you seen any enemies, so to speak, become friends here?
Well, I wouldn't say enemies because I don't know what they used to do when they're back in their country, as opposed to coming here. But in the ISA organization, there's unity, As I said, among friends, most of us are friends, So you might have, other than, as I said before, on the soccer field, other than that, you don't have much enemy and stuff like that. You have people that might say, okay, fine. You might have people that might have a beef or something like that, but it's not a big thing. You know what I mean? It could be over a simple thing, like, for example, not calling them over the weekend or something like that. Yeah, you supposed to call me last weekend and you didn't. You know what I'm saying? But it's real simple. It's nice.
Okay.
What goals do you have for ISA, Andrew?
For ISA, since ISA is only on SAU campus, I was hoping that, we can get ISA into different campuses, for example, like Little Rock, Arkansas, some of the bigger universities and stuff like that. So that's basically what. And I'm hoping that we can get ISA more involved with the community. That's why this year, I went out and spoke to a couple of other businesses like Walmart, Cato's, and for example, Warnock Furnitures, and they donated some prizes that we're going to raffle off as door prizes. So.
Why do you think it's important to have an ISA program on campus?
Well, first of all, diversity is the main key right there. And since there's always room for it, it's kind of boring to get up and see the same people every day, talk the same language, and not learning anything. I mean, to live is to learn. You know what I mean? And like I'm sitting here and I'm talking to you people. You guys are Americans. I'm Jamaican. You know, only thing that's different among us is probably my accent or my childhood upbringing. But it's important that we all learn something from each other because we never know. One day we might end up living together or being somebody else's neighbors. So I think on that basis, it's important for having ISA on this campus.
Well, could you elaborate on some of the other things you learned besides the Pakistani dance you talked about earlier?
Well, first of all, I learned for example, I'm learning some French. I mean, Canada is kind of like English / French. I learned how to say hello in Nepali, which is Kamistai. Took me a little while to get that. I messed it up a little bit, but after a while, hanging around them, they teach me how to say a few things. And I've had some Nepali food. Boy, hey, they cook it down, okay? They cook it down, man. They cook it down.
Okay. What changes would you like to see take place within ISA?
That's a good question. I like that. One of the changes I want to see the Americans, interacting with the international students. I mean, it doesn't mean that because we're not a fraternity or anything like that, or sorority or whatever the case might be. You know what I mean? I mean, talk to us. As a matter of fact, this week in the Bray, I had a story that says, "Don't be a regular." You know what I mean? Say hi to somebody. You know what I mean? Not because you don't know them or associate with them, on a regular basis. You know what I mean? Talk to them. You know what I mean? That's basically what I want. I mean, if all of us can just come together, regardless, because another thing that we have is that for international students, like I said, that you're international to me as I am to you, in the sense that if you come to Jamaica, then you're international. I'm in your country, so therefore I'm international. So we're all international in a way. You know what I mean?
So how do you propose that we fix this problem of coming together? You want us to come to you all, but how? What kind of programs, what kind of activities do you think we have to bring us together?
I think, for example, what we did on last Black History Month when we had the fashion show and extravaganza, just exploring the different cultures, African background. I would say a simple hello. A simple hello. Hi, how are you? I'm from such and such. What's your name? It's not that hard. But a lot of people seem to think that, just coming up to somebody and say, hey, how are you? You know what I mean? It's a hard thing. It's really simple. And it could start there and develop into, who knows?
Okay.
Staying on the fact that you say we are international to each other in a certain way, can Americans join ISA?
Anybody can join ISA. It's International Students Association. The word students is in there, you know what I'm saying, Calvin? I'm a student, you're a student, you know what I mean? And because I'm in your country doesn't mean that I should be treated differently, you know what I mean, from anybody else. It's for everybody. And that's why we're having the banquet. Just to open up and open our arms and say, come on in, this is what we're about. You know what I mean? It's not just for international students, it's for everybody. So we're gonna have dishes from all different countries. Say, hey, come and taste what we eat on a regular basis. So it's not just for internationals, for Americans. It's open to everybody.
I never knew that Americans could join ISA. How could we? What are the requirements or?
There are no requirements.
There's no
You just come and say,
fees
listen, there's no fees. You just come and say, listen, I want to be a part of ISA. This is how I can help out. I want to do this. For example, if you're good at talking, communicating with people, then we say, okay, fine. We have something for you to do. I'm a talker. I'm the kind of guy that goes out there and say, hey, come on, and I have a big smile on my face majority of the time, But whatever your specialty is, there's always something for you to do, and free of charge, just voluntary.
Okay. I know you said earlier that ISA was only on SAU campus. Have you all started the process of trying to make new colonies or chapters on different campuses in the United States?
No, we haven't. We haven't done that yet, but I'm sure that's in the working right now.
Okay.
We haven't done that yet.
But most colleges do have some kind of organization for international students,
Yes,
right?
they do. International Student Services, which is a totally different thing from the International Students Association. The International Student Association is like an organization on campus that's like a family for the international student, like a bonding, a gathering place for them. International Student Services is what's responsible for taking care of your papers, your I-20s, and getting you to to the campus.
Okay.
Would you like to see any different changes or more togetherness at this campus?
Well, as for ISA, I mean, we already have unity because, for example, and I give a big example with the Nepalese, for example, everywhere you see them, you never see one Nepali walking, never. If you look, you would see like 3 or 4. On the weekends, we all probably ought to need a tree, playing a guitar, singing a song or something like that. I mean, there's unity there, Maybe it's not recognized by everybody, but everybody had just some kind of unity there. I mean, unity among Americans and international students. Yes, I would like to see that.
What organization, what activities do y'all involve yourselves in? I know that every Friday night, I believe, you all
Yes.
have a movie night.
Yes, we do.
But what other activities do y'all do as a whole?
Okay, well, we have like every weekend there's soccer.
Okay.
And that's beneficial for the students, for example, if they need to go and vent, get off a little stress, And there's also exercise profit in that, For example, last fall, we did a miniature banquet with the organization called Weed and Seed in Texarkana. It went well. As a matter of fact, people from that event is coming down to watch us.
Okay, and what's that mean, weed and seed? Okay.
Weed and seed basically is, when I say weed and seed, people think, I think of smoking, you know what I mean? And that's not necessarily the case, you know what I mean? But weed and seed basically is kind of like having like something in your hand, right? And you want to weed out the things that you don't want and reseed it with the things that you do want. So it's a community program that sets standards for kids, basically, risking anyone to restructure that community.
Which activities would you like to see the international students get more involved in on this campus?
Well, any activity that promote unity, more unity, I should say. Any activity that's going to get not just international students together, bring them together, but bring American students together. Because since we are here, when you go to Rome, you do what the Romans do. We're not in Rome, since we're in America. Why don't we all just, get along, be a big family? That's basically it. That's it.
I know that you talked about the Alpha Kappa Alpha extravaganza, the Black History program that they held this year. How did you feel about this program?
I thought it was a great opportunity for ISA to work with an American organization, which is a student organization. Even though it's a bigger organization than we are, it kind of like gets their foot in the way to let them know that, hey, we're here too. Because nobody ever hear about ISA. ISA, what is that? You know what I mean? But they hear about all the other fraternities and sororities and stuff like that. So this is kind of a good way to let them know that we're here. We're willing to work with anybody. You know what I mean? We don't specialize in particular groups or whatever the case might be. So that was good for us.
That's great.
Well, why do you think many international students don't join fraternities or sororities?
Well, a lot of them don't join it because of, the quote-unquote hearsay, oh, I heard they do that, man. I ain't gonna do that, my tradition, we don't do that kind of stuff, And another reason is because, the fee, a lot of us, for example, we're paying out-of-state tuition and health insurance and whatever, name it, we're paying it. You know what I mean? And so therefore, to shell out an extra $200 or $300, I mean, you know what I mean? Just an example, because I don't know, we're kind of reluctant to do that. You know what I mean? And, first of all, we don't, understand the culture of it and, and the meaning or aspects of being in a fraternity or sorority. Most of us are not really used to that in our country, so we don't really have that. So.
I know on the SAU campus we have, I think about 2, maybe 1 or 2 international students in
Correct.
Fraternities and sororities. I think it'd be a positive change, because a lot of organizations are international, and then they can take this home and expand. But talking about the ISA banquet, what is the main purpose for the ISA banquet?
As I said, the banquet is basically, to be frank, hey, there's going to be food. Come on out and eat. Everybody likes to eat. There's going to be prizes for everybody. And the main thing, just to answer your question, is just to open up and show, Southern Arkansas, Magnolia, whatever you want to call it, Arkansas. Yeah, here we are, and this is what we're about, okay? We're about, celebrating. We're about dinner, we're about festivities, we're about fashion, we're about everything that you do. We just do it in a different way. Come in and just have some fun with us.
Okay.
Well, could you elaborate on some of the dishes that might be there at the?
Well, there's going to be a dish from Jamaica. It's basically dumplings and banana and salt codfish, if you had some of that. Woo! There's going to be some dish from Kenya. There's going to be some dish from Pakistan. There's going to be some dish from Nepal. So it's kind of like, it's a good thing, you know, for Americans or anybody to come out to, because, for example, it's like you get to travel all over the world, you know, with just one night, whatever your tickets is cost. You know what I mean? You can travel wherever you want to travel with your taste bud or with your eyes or whatever, you know, in one night. So.
Okay. The $1 million question, is the ISA banquet only for international students?
Do you want me to give you $1 million now? No, it's not just for international students. As a matter of fact, we have like, you know, half of the faculty and staff that's in the Wilson building attends. The president comes every year.
Really?
So it's not just an international thing, it's for everybody. And I stated that on the flyer. I said it's not just for international students, it's for all of us. Okay, so to answer your question, no.
So are you going to be involved in the international banquet?
Well, I don't know. You know, you might have to come and see. Yes, yes, I will be. I will be involved. As a matter of fact, I'm the one that's putting the thing together. I'm responsible also for the performances and stuff and the entertainment. But I'm going to be also doing some stand-up comedy. We had some skits and some drama. You know, some singing. You know, some singing. So we have some of that going on. Yeah, I'm going to be involved.
Okay. Do you have any role models at SAU? Anybody that stood out and to help you find your way?
Well, I wouldn't say necessarily help me find my way, you know, but person that I look up to is Clayton Stewart. You know, another person that I look up to as a teacher, her name is Dr. Linda Selman. She's my Lit 2 teacher, you know, and she's the type of lady that would, like, you know, every beginning of class she would read to you and stuff like that. I mean, like, I like to read my own. I don't like people to read to me. You know what I mean? I feel like they're gonna put me to sleep. But it wasn't like that in her class. You know what I mean? I mean, she's a real sweet lady. She's like a small, you know, woman, but you know what I mean? She has a big heart. I mean, she stood out.
Yeah, Clayton Stewart, he's a very helpful guy on campus. I mean,
Yes,
he
he
helps
is.
everybody he comes in contact, if he come up and talk to him and show him that you really need help and you want to be successful, he will definitely come and help you.
Yeah, he's been a big help to me. Like, I could go into his office, like, it doesn't matter. I don't have to make an appointment.
Yeah.
I just go knock on the door, dang, dang, oh, come on in. Hey, what's up, man? What you doing? You know, like, we had some kind of dealings going on, you know. And we'll sit down, we'll talk, you know, and then we just vibe, and then that's it, man. If I have a problem, you know, I go and talk to him, let him know what's going on. So it's real cool. Open door policy for him is great.
Okay. When you came to SAU, was this your first time in the United States, or do you travel a lot?
I'm international. We always travel. No, this was my first time, you know. As a matter of fact, I had some friends in New York, in Long Island, so, you know, we go over there and spend time and stuff like that. So this was my first time.
Okay.
So in your pastime, what do you like to do to kick back and relax, you know?
After this weekend, I'm going to get a lot of those kickback time because, you know, the banquet, you know, putting everything together was kind of, you know, busy and hectic for me. But, you know, I play some basketball. You know, we play basketball together, Calvin. Come on, you know. I mean, you crossed me up a couple of times, but, you know, that's okay. I'll catch you next time. You know, we play some basketball, you know, soccer, and sometimes I do a little reading or some writing because I like to write, you know, so.
Well, time is about out. I want to give a special thanks to you, Volo, for being with us today.
No problem.
I'm Angela Bradford.
And I'm Calvin McGee, and I'd like to thank you for watching this SAU Report.